Nowadays, according to how schools are being banned, you could even think that there is a game that students are praying with teachers. They are not liking the way to how to study again. It has been continuing for the longest time. No one could be in that particular shoes to listen a bit well with the students and tell them, you know what, these particular things that you are banning, it is not fair at all. Tell us what you want. We can be able to rectify some of our own mistakes, because I tend to agree there is a mistake somewhere, and children and our teachers are not ready to sit down and solve this particular problem. That is the main problem that we have in schools. That is the reason that we are seeing fire after fire, and this particular fire is not burning classrooms. It is definitely burning dormitories. You guys need to think about it. The Ministry of Education, you have to come on board and try as fast as possible to solve this particular misery. Parents out there are crying when they are here. You know what? The dormitory of the certain particular school has burned down. Everyone becomes so worried and be like, you know what? My kid goes to that particular school. What might have caused that particular fire? Is my son alive? Is my daughter alive? Those are the most particular questions that parents are coming out with them. Each and every day, parents are crying, especially when you remember that you have a child in a boarding school, and after every 3 hours on the news, you see breaking news. Fire has occurred in this particular high school. This particular dormitory has burned in this particular school. There is a tragic fire accident. Those kind of headlines each and every particular day. They are worrying. They are making parents look like, they are stressed up with this particular type of economy, and then you find a lot of kids doing these particular things in school. It is definitely unreasonable. My good name is Anthony Jenga, and this is Eve Media Kenya, the number one online TV. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Ladies and gentlemen, for the last particular few weeks, we have been experiencing fires in the dormitories. We have been seeing fires, in different schools. And my worry is, all these particular fires, they are targeting dormitories. Dormitories where our children sleep, where our younger brothers and sisters live. It is worrying, and teachers, they are not worrying about it. It started with that particular case at Endarasha. That particular academy, that was a bad one. Imagine 20 children being burned to ashes. It's quite sad. Other 80 kids are missing. Parents, they don't have even the answer where all these particular 80 kids went to. The government is trying to hide this particular information so much. I don't know for what reason. What reason could you have for protecting your own name, saying that they were not 100 kids, they were 20, and 80 are still missing? Can the government look into this particular matter carefully? Because let us come to this particular conclusion like this. Someone in between those particular 100 students, it is 100 because there are 20 who are burned to death. They are unrecognizable. No one could be able to recognize, is my child dead, is my child not alive, that kind of a situation. So those are 20, and there is other 80 who are missing. The administration, the government is trying to tell us and selling to us this particular field, the idea that The kids just headed away. They went away, they moved allowed. With that particular kind of information, isn't really going anywhere. So just try and imagine this. There is 100 parents out there who don't know where their kids they are. The government is keeping quiet about this. They definitely know that parents are stressed. In 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, now it's almost the 4th day. We are talking about the same scenario, the same question, being given the same answer. And when we try to focus so much on this particular story, what Mr. President is coming out to say is just calling us criminals who want to sell this delusional to the public. But let me ask you, Mr. President, sometimes you pretend so much to be like a saint, like you don't know what is happening in our country. Mr. President, you have failed totally. Mr. President, since you came into this particular office, what you keep doing is lying and lying over and over again. When you are being questioned about this and this, you tend to answer and give the long answer totally. You don't answer our question fully. You are even wondering, is this the same particular guy who was on top of the vehicle from 2018 to 2022, campaigning, giving people hope? You are selling hope to people. But right now, what we are seeing, it is not hope anymore. It has turned out to be so bad. You have definitely lost it. You have lost the touch with the people in the crowd. Why? Because you are not listening with them. When they are crying, you are like laughing to them. Because tell me or make me understand. A whole president is coming out in the public and saying there is 20. The number is 20. So tell us more about this particular scenario. You are in charge of the country. You are in charge of these particular whole situations, learning. You learn on the ministries. You have all the type of resources that can help you to make sure each and every particular kid is safe and sound. Now what you are trying to say to us is that, 8 kids are missing, only 20 died. Right now I'm being told they are 21, only 21 died. Okay, it's okay. It's a large number. But my deep question is, are you investigating this particular matter, or you are just looking at it as a very normal thing? Mr. President, look at this way. Sometimes you pretend not to know what is happening in the country. You pretend to be so much ignorant. So much. I even pity my fellow Kenyans because they tend to think that they have a very good-hearted president, but it is totally opposite of what we definitely think. Because I have never seen even a single thing, even a single good thing that you have done to the public, especially this particular year. What? All you have been doing is launching fake projects. That is what we call hot air, wet goose chase. I definitely realized that IEBC did a terrible mistake. We Kenyans did a terrible mistake by putting this particular guy in the top office. We have learned our most valued lesson. I tend to say this, that it will never happen again. Kids, students, comrades, Gen Z, millennials, the lost generation, men and women, ladies and gentlemen. I tend to think that we were really wrong about this. We didn't do the required thing. We failed on this particular mission. The future generation will definitely ask us a lot of questions, because I tend to think that in our country right now, we don't have a direction that we are moving out. Look at this particular scenario. Former regimes had a very supportive government, and they had a little touch with the people on the ground, even if they didn't have that particular touch. And I'm not saying that they were perfect. They also had the bad and poor, weak sides, but they didn't have late in this particular scenario. I'm trying to think if President William Ruto was the president who was the person in control of the government when our country experienced worst disasters like COVID-19, terrorist attacks, and so on and so on, major calamities. I tend to think that we could have died, all of us. Look how this particular guy managed floods. It was merciless. We could not receive anything. Right now, our generation is crying all over about food, about infrastructure, about healthcare. No one is caring about them. No one is looking. No one at all. But you know what? We Kenyans, we have a chance. We have that particular chance. We have to make a bold move. It's upon to you to make a change and speak out. We need to come together and speak out. We need to come out and ask, where are these particular 80 kids are? Where did they take them? And if there is something bad that happened to those particular kids, justice should be served in the court of law. Our courts now, it's high time. They need to stop being corrupt. They need to take a good direction and wake up, take this particular country of ours to the next level. It is such a sad moment. In the month of August and September this particular year, we have experienced 239 deaths out of tragedies, accidents, and fire. It is quite disheartening seeing this happening. And right now, we have a clueless minister of roads. We have a clueless minister of education. Some people who could have guided our country better, some are dead. Remember the likes of Professor George Magoha, who had a special love for education. Other people have retired, like the CS of hell. I'm talking about Waziri. It's such a hard moment to talk about this, but where did we go wrong as Kenyans? Proud put us here we are. Proud. We were arrogant. We could not hear from the leaders who had, But all in all, even those that we thought they were good leaders, maybe they were not. They are working right now with criminals. So don't come here there and tell me that we did this particular thing in this particular manner. We intended to do better, but we didn't. we didn't have the right candidates at that particular moment. The truth is, we deserved better. We deserved better. And right now, Kenyans, we deserve better. I tend to think that there is another way that we can be able to rise up and do these particular things in another very, very good way. All we have to do is take care. Leave our emotions aside. Let us use our mind and observe this particular game, the game of the mighty. It's such a sad story. It's quite very, very sad. But you know what? We will not give up. Gen Z, we have the power to keep on fighting, to keep going. You know, regardless of what we are going as a society. Maybe someone is jobless. He doesn't know where to find a good job. He doesn't know what next for him or her. There is a very good solution here. We have to implement and improvise with whatever small things that we have. Students, leaders, everywhere. Look at this particular situation boldly. Stop burning schools. We need to talk. Stop burning schools. And you teachers, you need to stop being arrogant, because you have been so much arrogant. You know, you are not listening to students, to kids, to PPs. You don't want to hear their side of the story. Right now, we are not in that particular future, or, you know, that older generation that used to be told to do this and this and this. No. Right now, we are a new era whereby canes don't work anymore. Beatings doesn't work anymore. We need to talk. It's one of the most powerful words. We need to talk. We need to have a dialogue. We need to have a conversation and look at these particular sites and see, I can be able to change here, I can be able to do this, and I can be able to do better. Yeah, we can be able definitely to do better. It doesn't matter, and it will never even matter. Look at this particular age. Look at this. What if we did the right thing? We stopped corruption. We hated this particular thing of bribing and looked at the straight, correct way of doing things. Have systems that usually work. We could definitely be one of the richest countries in Africa, not only in Africa, but around the globe. Right now, we are so poor, but not poor in resources, but poor in management. We are so rich, but not rich in management, but rich in resources. That is what people doesn't know about this. No one is knowing about all this, because we have been closed eyes with these particular politicians. Just they are coming out to tell us what they think that they should be doing, you know. I tend to think we need to rise up again, rise up better, and work things out very well. Look at it this way. Each and every particular day, the president, you are addressing us, telling us we are log. You are saying to us we are log media. There is none a single day that you have ever come out in public and said, you know, media has done this very well, has done this good. But our work is just reporting. We need to deliver news the way they are. We don't need to lie to people. You are used to lying to people so much that you have lost the touch of truth anymore. Maybe you keep lying everyone. You think that everyone is like your wife. You know, this is not a correct time. We are not your wife. It is not a girlfriend that you are looking at. We are Kenyans. We are Lil. Because Lil is coming in touch with reality. Don't take us for granted. We are the same people who put you in that particular top office, but we'll be the same people who will definitely remove you from that particular top offices. So, whatever you think that you are doing it for the betterment of our country. I'm sorry. Cool down, buddy. You have a long way to go. You have a lot of work to do. You know what? I have been your best orator. My good name is Anthony Jenga, and this is Eve Media Kenya, the number one online TV. Remember, this is a new era, a new generation, a new movement. Team Eve Media Kenya. See you in the next one. Bye bye for now. Peace.